This is Chris, the Idaho cyclist, bringing you another video tip. And when you're done watching, don't forget to share us, don't forget to like us, and when you got a chance, subscribe to our channel. This is Chris, the Idaho cyclist here in Boise, and I've got a permanent marker here, and I'm going to be drawing some lines on my Kreitler rollers here to give us some reference points, so when we're on riding the rollers, that we can work on our riding skills. And we're going to start off, and I'm just going to set this permanent marker down, and I'm going to give us a couple lines here that we can actually use to ride with. I'm going to set this marker down and begin drawing a line. I've got one, I want one about 3 inches from that's the outside on the left side. I'm going to make another one about 3 inches from the outside on the right side, and this is going to give me a reference point that I could ride on the outside, a reference point that I could ride on this outside, and then in the middle. And I want to get one in the middle that I can create about 3 inches in the middle that we can ride in. And these little reference points, once I get on my rollers, I'm going to use this to increase my roller skills, riding from edge to edge and trying to ride in this narrow middle point right here too. I'll show you how we're going to go about using those reference points once we get on our rollers. I've got our rollers set up. I've got our reference points drawn on here. I'm going to begin riding. And I've got my reference point in the middle, and I can see down there, and I can work on my riding skills, trying to stay in between that narrow gap straight in the middle. That's only about 3 inches wide. Use my other reference points from the outside to ride from edge to edge. Practice your edge to edge skills, and soften the edge or riding along the edge. Back to the middle, edge, 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 back to the middle. You can see how those lines or reference points, you can play around with those things while riding on your rollers. Go to edge. See how fast you can get to the edges and back to the middle, edge, middle, edge, middle. And ride just in the middle and try to stay in the middle as long as I can, working on my bike handling skills. And try to get out to this outside edge. It's only about 3 inches wide. Back to the middle. And there I have my reference points drawn on my rollers with a permanent marker, and they'll stay on there quite a while. When you're working on this drill, it's probably good not to have a set of good wheels on there in case you ride off the rollers. If you ride off the rollers, hit the outside edge. I've ridden off my rollers quite a few times, and it scratches the edges of your rims up really well. And it's a lot easier to do this bike handling drill with your hands up here on the tops of the bars instead of the hoods. It's a little more jerky on the hoods, a little more stable right here. That was an accident. That wasn't planned. So you can see I started to ride off, and I knew I was going off, so I just hopped off to make it look like I did it. Start back up here. Gonna work on just riding dead center in the middle, staying between those two lines. Just another drill, something for you to do in the wintertime while riding your rollers. This is Chris in Boise. This is Chris, the Idaho cyclist. Thanks for watching our videos. And don't forget, click those buttons right down here below me. The share and like buttons. It goes a long way to keeping us on TV.